I'm Hannah from Singletrack, and I'm here with the rest, or some of, the Singletrack team to go and see what's inside the building behind me. We could take you on a factory tour and show you how our test bike was made. We could spend hours watching lasers precision-cut brake disc rotors.
Lasers!
Okay, we admit we did spend quite a lot of time doing just that. Look.
Lasers!
Every now and again it does a thing where it zooms the full length of the machine, there you go, and cleans its head. That's if it was right on cue, that.
Lasers!
And a pizza oven.
So this is the panini machine?
Well, it's not just panini,
Nice.
pizzas,
Nice.
toasters,
Steak grills.
and it'll do everything with heat treatment as we do, so they subject the discs.
That's for the discs.
1,000 degrees, yeah. So it just basically binds all the material together. Ideally, you're never going to get to 1,000 degrees going down a descent.
But wait, we're getting distracted. Hope Technology is based in Barnoldswick and is the highly technical centre of highly technical engineering and invention with Guy Martin's soiled shorts.
They get a lot of attention, those.
Okay, so we did go round the Hope factory, but really, if you want to see how everything is made, you should buy yourself a Hope bike and go on the free factory tour you get when you opt to collect the bike from them. Instead, join us for the Kids Break into a Sweet Shop version of the Hope factory tour. There are bikes everywhere you look. If you keep your eyes peeled, between the staff bikes you'll find some interesting bits of engineering, some pet projects, some Hope history, and maybe even some secret stuff. There's a small, firm feel to the place. Personal items hint at in-jokes. There are touches of humour and the silly between the green corporate branding, and there's just enough disorder to let you know that the robots are not in charge.
Is this a prototype of the next HP here?
Yeah, so this is a... we just like it because it's cool. It's
Between the Raleigh and that thing over there, it looks like you guys got a lot of time on your hands. They got a social club. Yeah. The social club, the old bike fixing up. No trademark infringement there. As long as you're not using it for commercial purposes or it's satirical, it's okay.
In the CNC hall, most of the machines are a load 'em up and let 'em run affair, so you'll see staff standing having a chat rather than being focused on guiding machinery. Everything is clean but noisy, and there's only the faintest whiff of industrial process in the air.
I see a weird rusty metal up there at the top. What's that?
no idea what that is. There's a lot of crap like that lying about that, someone just needs to put that in the bin, but...
What about your aluminum? Is it all the same type of aluminum?
So we buy most of our aluminium from a place in Italy. So these are fully automated, and these ones are designed to have like one guy look after, 4 or 5 of these. And what he'll do is in the morning, he'll load the machine up. So each machine's got 32 pallets, and each pallet has 2 to 4 parts on it, depending on what size. They'll then program the machine what they want it to do, and then off it goes. So the guys will load that into the machine, and then 45 minutes later, spits that out.
My understanding was that forging had a certain strength value to it that maybe extrusion doesn't. Is that true?
Yeah, so forging gives you like a multi-directional grain.
Right.
So incredibly strong.
Quasi-isotropic, sort of. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And the extrusion doesn't really. So how do you compensate for that?
So what we do with the extrusion is we buy it with a certain direction already, built in effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So because we make the brake levers from the forging, it creates a really strong part, but in reality you don't actually need a lot of strength in a lever. What you need is a grain structure that will work against the motion of you pulling.
Yeah.
So we buy the extrusion with that already
Orientation,
built in.
yeah.
The orientation, yeah. So when you pull that lever, you've already got the grain structure working against that.
Uh-huh.
So you don't need strength in all directions
Right.
that you would get from a forging. So you can build 4 different brake levers left and right, and a Tech 3 and race lever from one extrusion.
That's not to say that everything runs smoothly. Some machines are a little temperamental, others seem to have off days, but there are staff on site to fix them and get them running again. There's no waiting for an engineer to turn up from a maintenance company. When you're running a 24-hour shift, even on Christmas Day, downtime is to be avoided. Hope operates on a lean basis, not holding a huge amount of stock on the shelves. Many products are manufactured on a just-in-time basis, so if a hub machine has a bad day and production gets behind, it can have a knock-on effect down the line in the wheel building area, for example. That said, there's still a storeroom full of lots of little itty bits, like little tiny seals for brakes that were in production 15 years ago. If you want to keep repairing your Hope gear, you can. They stock or can make a full range of spare parts for bygone products. Hope is arguably best known for its prettily coloured components, and the anodising room is one of the areas where production can get backed up. Whereas the CNC machining is an all-programmed and computer-controlled affair, the anodising remains very analogue. Super clean, shiny and grease-free raw products are lined up to go into the anodising baths, hung on trees of hooks which are dipped by hand in and out of the various chemical baths. There are timers to monitor how long each item has been in each bath, but you can see the staff here pulling out the trees, inspecting them like a baker would a cake, and then deciding that it needs another minute or two.
It's a really hands-on process. The guys are constantly on the timers, they're assessing temperatures and stuff, so anodising is like a controlled corrosion basically, so you can give your part a wash and a clean. It's then dunked in sulfuric acid, which basically heats in to the initial layer of the material, creates a porous surface. You then dunk it in your dye, a bit of electrolysis, a few other bits and pieces, and then hey presto, you bring your part out and it's coloured. It's quite a nasty place to work actually, and I do have a lot of respect for guys who work in here because it's a really tricky environment to work in. Also, you're kind of responsible for a really important part of the whole process, and if a part comes out wrong or looking too dark or too light, it just goes in the bin basically.
So when you're anodizing something like a stem and it's got two pieces, it's got the faceplate and the body, does all that get anodized at the same time in the same?
Yeah, they try and do the same material because materials can vary in colour. Yeah, they'll be done at the same time, yeah. And it's always a colour match. We always want to get the same colour every time, so...
How do you match the colours? Do you have a machine that checks them?
I have a pair of eyes. It's all done by eyes, really.
The whole process looks distinctly more rustic than the rest of the operation, but the finished results are definitely bling. We spotted a few experimental, bespoke and unavailable colours. Though pretty, Hope only uses colours that it knows will stay looking good after months of use, and that they can reproduce at the same colour every time. So, the corporate green components are reserved only for team riders, who can have any worn or scruffy parts replaced whenever needed. Hope is 30 years old this year, and with that amount of experience and so much in-house capacity, they can make pretty much whatever they want.
It started with Ian and Simon, who took on a third guy, and then gradually it's expanded and there's over 170 people work here now. And the cool thing is it's all self-financed as well, so there's been no outside investment.
What do you guys think about new standards? Is that a pain in the ass for you, or is that just an opportunity for you to build some more stuff?
Well, I suppose the official line is it's probably a bit of both. I mean, for us it doesn't really matter. Most of the time it's just adding a bit on or taking a bit off. We can react pretty quickly to standards changing, and probably the main problem would be stuff like Shimano and Microspline, and them not giving us the license. That's probably what we're up against the most, really.
When are you going to do carbon cranks?
Not for a while yet. I think we have made some, but we got all sorts of stuff on the go. All sorts. But no, not carbon cranks at the moment, no.
Certainly in the world of high tech, the carbon manufacturing area starts with another collection of CNC machines. This is Hope's big trick. It makes its own moulds for its carbon products, meaning it can keep development costs low and reduce lead times. Got something wrong? Just cut yourself another mould.
Say Santa Cruz, in one size of one bike they might have 5 or 6 moulds, and if each mould is costing you 20 grand, it's a lot of investment on that one size. Like, we're really lucky that we can spend like a third of that. We can do all the machining, do all the designing in-house, and then we can also keep hold of the quality. You can make sure that it's the best quality it can be, like the best machining, which ultimately gives the customer the best possible quality product.
It's been a challenge to find staff that have the knowledge of how to do the carbon layup as well as places in Taiwan, but Hope reckons that they've got there. The room looks a little empty, kind of like one of those rooms in Area 51 where they perform dissections of aliens. In fact, surely those are alien entrails. Or are they working on some long-distance racer with inbuilt catheter? Being bike nerds, we're here for all the bike bits, not just the mountain bike stuff. So we make sure we get a good look at the totally not that secret track bikes that are being built for Team GB. The hope is that it'll give the riders a technical and psychological edge at the next Olympics. All UCI legal, of course, but with some high technology thrown at the edges of what's within the rule book. Additive printed titanium components combine with some swooping and sweeping carbon shapes to create a light, stiff and aero bike. Intriguingly, we're ushered past the wheels with mutterings of unique and secret construction techniques and the claim that they might be too round. Attempts at loitering are foiled and we move on to the finishing room. Hope says that they're really confident of the quality of their carbon construction. Samples that have been x-rayed have been complimented on their quality, and they've even been told they could cut a few corners and still deliver quality assured frames. But that's not their style.
You know, we're kind of that thinking that if you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability. And you know, certainly with our processing, like there's loads of stuff you could cut corners with and speed things up, but at the end of the day that's not what we're about, and we'd rather, you know, churn out 5 a week and them be exceptional bikes than to turn out 500 a week and them be, you know, just above average.
And the finishing room is where the carbon products come to have a gleam added that really shows off their quality. If you get the chance to feel the inside of an HB frame, you'll see just how neat the finish is and how little excess or unnecessary material there is in there. Hope is 30 years old this year. That's 30 years of engineering, bike history and expert development. That's all brought together in the build room, where if you buy an HB bike, it'll be built to order, complete with all the parts that you decide to adorn the frame with. We recommend you take up the offer of the factory tour. It's quite the operation to behold. Thanks for joining us.